this the medieval equivalent of the balcony at Buckingham Palace, I guess. It immediately elevated Corfe Castle status as a royal castle because appearance doors are common in England. In France, yes, but not in England. But that also shows how the monarchs are bringing the latest fashions from France, not just to London, but to little old Purbeck as well. But also how they are following the latest fashions too, which could explain that lack of sentimentality. Because you see here this plaster rendering, we believe, is King John's work. So he's 1199, 1216. You see it going across the arch here. These indentations up at the very top, we believe, are for the wall hangings, so the tapestries. And you can see there's at least 3 of them banged into the appearance door arch. These springer stones here, on either side you can see them sticking out, well they be protruding on this side as well. And that crown molding you see, they are inside, they've been up here as well. But for some reason King John wanted a flush wall, so he just ordered his workers to just chop it up. No care or consideration for his great-grandfather's appearance door. But in turn, King John's grandson, Edward I, so he's got the nickname Edward Longshines because he's so unusually tall for those times. And he wasn't a fan of pitched roofs. So you can see a pitched roof line here, just going up there, coming down on the side as well. And he also wanted sort of like a garret up here, like an extra loft space. I can't imagine someone, no matter how tall you are, owning a castle and still wanting more space, but there you have it. We believe this horizontal indentation here is the flat roof of King Edward. This blind arcading up here, which I first mentioned when I showed the picture of the keep, you see it up here in this picture as well. It's sort of recessed. It's meant to be recessed arcading. And the point of it is when the sun is moving across the sky, you can imagine it on a day like today, just the light and shade effect with this recessed arcading and the sticking out buttress just adds to the splendor and the grandeur of the place. And remember, it's all white too, so you know the king is showing you this is his home. For miles around, it's the biggest and best place. Pretty impressive. But this arcading you see up here, it's not recessed, it's all been bricked up, we believe, so they can have another roof raising. If you look up here, you'll see sort of like an M style. Maybe you might have to be a little bit more back there. Like another evidence of another pitched roof. Going across the buttress as well, just coming down a little bit there. And then if that wasn't enough, you see another horizontal indentation up there as well. And then after going to all the trouble of bricking up the arcade, they just banged through the whole thing and put a window in there. We initially thought I'd raise the roof twice. We come up here and we see, well, it's clearly different. We were very excited to have the platform up here, and we still are. But we seem to have more questions now than answers, really. But it's so fascinating. I think that's what's so fascinating about the castle as well, is that it's like you're exploring, well, it's unexplored territory. Almost going into like space or deep sea or something. You don't know what you're looking at. You may never know. And I think that's part of the fascination of Corfe Castle as well. It's so iconic. But yes, why did they keep raising the roof? Well, when the Hutton family bought the castle from Queen Elizabeth I, so just the Hutton, when he died, his niece, Lady Elizabeth Hutton, she acquired ownership. And out this window, it's not much to look at now, it's just a grassy field, but there were fish ponds there. So she had them redesigned to be ornamental fish ponds. And as we were walking up the castle mound, you would have noticed the mound is terraced. It is visible out those 2 windows, but man-made so she can have these gardens put in. So very fancy, very much in keeping with the style though. Oh! Late 1500s, early 1600s, very fancy. So I think if you had gardens like this, and you had a view of fish, ornamental fish ponds, if you have the means to raise your roof, why not enjoy the view? That's right. But yes, very impressive. The south annex, we don't know why it was added on. A couple of theories, maybe to show up the keep, so it will slide down the mound. Or my theory is this is the garderobe, so the toilets. Service towards the bottom, the top is royal toilets. Where the steps are, that's guard rooms. So maybe there came a time where they thought having extra guards and having toilets was more important than the king showing himself off. And so they built up the south annex. The other theory, which I think is really credible, King Henry I, as the son of William the Conqueror, it's still recent since the Norman conquest. Emotions are still running high. The Normans saw themselves as vastly superior to the Anglo-Saxons.